What's going on, visionaries? You're joining us, episode 12. We're out here. I'm joined by the legend himself, the one and only Tulsa's finest, Evan Dogoud. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? I'm on the podcast.
On the pod, bro.
You know, I'm trying not to fangirl, but it's it's an honor to be here.
No, I'm not trying to. Bro, I saw you on the news. I saw you at where you were like giving a speech to the mayor's office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to fangirl, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
But visionaries, thanks for tuning in. Evan's quick story. Bro, remember how we met?
Yes.
And I slid into your DMs before I moved to Tulsa. And then just the way the Lord led it. Mm-hmm. My first service at Transformation Church, we went into each other at the door, recognized each other, first friend in Tulsa, the Evan Dogoud.
Yeah, and I just want to point that out for all the discrepancies out there, that I was your first friend in Tulsa.
You were.
And I want that on a T-shirt. But just, yeah, thank you for acknowledging the truth.
For the record.
Yeah.
For the record. Yeah, you introduced me to Brian, Maddie, a lot of my central friends right now, but
yeah.
You had my back.
I had your back.
You believed
when I first
in me.
met you.
Yeah, you believed in me when I still lived in Texas. Mm-hmm. So, Evan, if you know how this pod starts, question everybody wants to know. You meet a stranger, they ask what you do. How are you explaining that concisely?
Yeah, so I'm the founder and president of an amazing nonprofit here in Tulsa called the BEHEARD Movement.
Sure.
And it's just been an amazing journey, amazing adventure. Yeah. We became an official nonprofit October 13th of 2020. And even to get to that point was a whole a journey.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people say, they're waiting for God to tell them what to do. Mm-hmm. However, that wasn't my case. My case was God had never told me to start BEHEARD. It was just I was in proximity to the need, and the need burdened me, and then because God used that need, that burden. So yeah, I started a nonprofit in 2020, and so much has happened, man. So much has happened.
That's so funny because I think when I first met you, I asked like what you did, and you were it was like in the baby stages mm-hmm. of where it's at now. It's crazy, man. We'll unpack it. Major part that I wanted to bring you on the pod. I know you've done a bunch of interviews. You've done like a lot of like media stuff, but I think I want to let people in on who Evan is, because they see you out here and the jokes about do good. Yes, that is your last name and all these things. But man, take us back. So going back to me meeting you, I know you're originally from Virginia. Mm-hmm. So kind of take us back on that journey on maybe what your original plan was for your life.
Yeah.
What path you were going to take, and maybe a little bit of the heart of why you're doing what you're doing now.
Yeah. So growing up, I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia, or Newport News, Virginia.
Shout out
and
to the fam out there.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And it was a different childhood. My parents got divorced when I was 15, and life just was very hard. My family grew up. We loved birthdays. We loved holidays. We were always connected together.
Yeah.
And other families viewed our family as the family that would never end up in divorce. Right. Yeah. And so when divorce happened, through some traumatic events.
How old were you, bro?
I was 14, 15. Yeah.
You're young, man.
But I love basketball. Basketball was my heart, was my soul.
You can still hoop right now?
I'm gonna skip that because I hooped last night and we just was not good. But it was fine.
Yeah.
So parents got divorced and going through a rough time. I actually had to live with a few teachers just because I had no way to school. I ended up living with my grandma, which was like a 3-bedroom house with like 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a bed throughout high school pretty much, and my cousin was shot and murdered as well during that time. And just going through a really, really rough time of just one thing after another. Divorce. I had no time to process the divorce.
Yeah.
And then my cousin gets shot and murdered. Still don't know who did it. And
it's like a lot of traumatic events back to back, and it's like very like developmental years for you, bro.
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Man, yeah. And what's crazy is during that time I was playing basketball. I was getting a lot of recognition. So. Yeah. At one time I was ranked in the state. I got all state one time. It was awesome. And since 9th grade, I wrote down each year, every day I would write down, I'm believing God for basketball scholarships. Like I have notebooks to this day. I wrote down as as a person in ninth grade,
So
right?
hoop was your life.
Yeah, so I was believing God for basketball scholarships, putting in the work, right? Faith without works is dead. So then when I became a senior, I had these recognitions, but I had no offers, like no basketball scholarships.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, God, like if you built the world in 7 days, you can give me a scholarship within this year, right?
Yeah.
I had faith out throughout. However, my season ended with 0 scholarships, and people who sat the bench behind me got offers.
That's
and
tough,
I was furious at God. Like the one thing I asked you to do to get basketball scholarships, you couldn't provide that. Like I've been through divorce, I've been through not having a bed to sleep at night. My cousin get shot, and I can't get one basketball scholarship.
Yeah.
You know, so that created a huge burden in my heart. Like, why would I even believe you for something else?
Yeah.
I wasted my time. There was like false of like hope, and I was just done. I ended up, going to a D3 college, which was super embarrassing to me because like I played on top AAU teams, and it was just like,
like everyone in that scene knew who you were.
bro,
You know?
I had a teacher tell me, and I remember this to this day. She was talking to another teacher saying, yeah, we were all hoping that he would go to a better school than that, and I was like, I feel like I let people down. You know what I mean? I'm like, like that's embarrassing. I'm like, God, why couldn't you do that? I was gonna use this story for your glory. All this, right? And so I ended up going to the school in Pennsylvania for a little bit, play basketball in the college. I wasn't practicing no more. I was just out, going to, partying and stuff like that. And I just didn't care.
Yeah.
But during my time, I learned about Elevation Church.
Yeah.
And Stephen Furtick. And I feel like he was the only pastor that could get to my soul.
At that point.
Right?
Yeah, because you were so jaded at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to church on Sundays, but I was like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? But I'm not dumb enough to go to hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I was going there, and Pastor Stephen, he really like spoke a lot of encouragement to me. So much encouragement that I would have like revivals in my dorm with just myself. Like I would stay up from like 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. just writing sermons from him, and it just encouraged me. It gave me that hope again to believe.
18, 19.
Yeah.
Like college age.
In college age. But it just gave me that hope to believe again.
Yeah.
And long story short, my dad, when they got divorced, my dad moved to Tulsa.
That's what I was going to ask next. Yeah.
Because my sister went here to ORU, and I got a text message saying your dad's sick, he might die. So I ended up moving to Tulsa
Because
in 2019. Yeah, because I thought he's gonna die. I want to get things right with him. So I moved to Tulsa and to get things right with him. And when I get here, like he gets better.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Well, I'm gonna save some money up and go back to Charlotte to go to Elevation Church. That's where
where you wanted to be. Yeah.
But however, all this starting a profit, all this has happened. So that's how I got to Tulsa to answer your question.
So how'd you get plugged in with? I mean, I guess I met you through Transformation Church. So you've been in Tulsa, and then they were at 1519 Pine.
Yeah. So as a senior in high school, I would drive my car to Charlotte once a month, pretty much, to go to Elevation Church.
Yeah.
I loved it.
How far was the drive?
About 4 hours. And as a senior, right? What student is doing that, right? But I loved it so much. I loved the atmosphere, the people, even how they dressed. During that time, I was even the Heroes in Heaven recording. Like I still got my shirt. Like I was such like I love that community.
That's dope. I didn't know you had that much roots like with Elevation Church, bro.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Like I loved it, man. I was planning. I was gonna be an intern. Like I had so much plans. It was wild. But the weekend I moved to Tulsa was the weekend that Pastor Mike was preaching at Elevation. So typically, if you go to Elevation and somebody else is preaching, like you don't really
kind of like skip.
You kind of skip it. But somebody said, "Hey, man, this dude from Tulsa just preaching. You should check him out." I said, "Okay, cool." Checked him out, and then I said he was fire. And then the next weekend I went to
his church.
Yes, he did like Mark Part 2 before Race Like a Flood. So,
bro, that's wild. So what were you working at in Tulsa? Because sounds like you left school, you left basketball. You're in Tulsa now. Your dad's good. What's going on with you at that point then?
Yeah. So at first I was working. I was working retail, but I did 2 years of counseling in college.
Yeah.
And then I got a job working at Youth Services of Tulsa. They help youth who are experiencing homelessness under 24. Yeah. During my time there, I met people who were 16, 17, 18, 19, living in the woods, right? People 16, 17, 18, 19, living in the woods with tick bites, spider bites, people that were freezing to death. I met those people, and they were just in such of a need for just community, for relationship, for just hope. They were just hoping for things. And then me being in proximity of people freezing to death, people
Yeah.
living in
Like
encampments.
your heart got soft
Yeah.
for that, because
Yeah.
I would imagine that's when like your heart for the people, for the people experiencing homelessness started growing, right?
Yeah.
Dang, bro. So where's that? Kind of leads us to Be Heard. So, like, how did that? What's the genesis? What's the backstory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the youth had the idea of, let's record our story on camera because nobody's listening to us. We want to humanize homelessness. Yeah. And I said, hey, I have this old like broken camera we can use.
Yeah.
And he said, let's do it. So at first we went under the bridge. We called it Bridge Talk, to record their story on the camera, do a documentary. My camera was so trash you couldn't hear what they were saying. So we had to go to their encampment, right? Yeah. And then like record their story. And it was so powerful. There was a girl, her name was Ashley, on her 18th birthday, her parents dropped her off at the Salvation Army and said, survive on your own. And just those stories we wanted to get out. And so I asked, hey, what should we call this documentary series? And they said, Be Seen and Be Heard. Yeah. And I said, oh, I like the Be Heard name. Yeah. So that's how we got our name, BEHEARD Movement.
But it's Be Heard, one word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not be space heard. Be Heard.
Be Heard, one word.
Bro, I miss streets. Oh, yeah. Is that going to get off the ground?
The homeless cooking show is coming back. That's one of my favorites as well, because I got to eat the food. We just been kind of doing a lot of different efforts right now.
Yeah. But, bro, so later in the pod, I want to get to, because you're doing some crazy stuff right now. Be Heard is on like this crazy trajectory for 2023. So I kind of want to get to where you've kind of felt things start catalyzing, because I remember you and I having a conversation where you were battling with, bro, like this thing's getting so big, I might need to leave my job. So like, talk to us about that transition and how you balance that.
Yeah. So I worked for they're pretty much the lead agency at the time, the city's outreach team. And I was working there, full-time outreach manager, case manager. It was awesome. But however, it like what I was doing on the side, which is Be Heard, was like crossing paths with that. Right. So,
because there was mutual interest, mutual like community.
Right. And so, my job, they were going to say, hey, you got to pick one or the other. But before they could do that, God made a way where we could do this full time. Right. Yeah. So now, this time last year, I was the only staff member. Yeah. Right. From Be Heard. It was just by myself. I would walk in the office.
You got a whole squad now.
And just talk to myself. I had a staff meeting by myself. No, for real. Like I really did that by myself. But I knew one day, like this vision couldn't stop just with me, and that people would be added. And so, fast forward to today, we have 9 staff members, and that's like quadruple the growth, right?
That's just times 9, bro.
Yeah, I mean, literally, right? My math is terrible, but it's just the fact that like we have a great board. We're doing it's just so much that's going on, happening. But I believe that in less than 2 years, this has all happened. And what's really cool is people who are experiencing homelessness, this was sort of their idea, and they got to watch it and be a part of it, of how it grew from just a snack pack to now we have all these outreach opportunities and vehicles.
Yeah, and you've had some of the people that have helped you in the journey, like they're housed now, they're working, like changing their lives, man.
Yeah.
Bro, so kind of leads us to the halfway point of the pod. Nate, can you pass me the phone? We're going to do a social media deep dive. I found an old picture on your Instagram. So I'm going to show you the picture here on my phone. And then you're going to tell us a deeper story. Nate's going to put it on the screen so the people can see what we're talking about. And you tell us what's happening, my guy.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So this photo is really unique. I'm wearing a suit in that photo.
You are.
With a nice little turtleneck. But I'm wearing I'm wearing that attire because I had to go drive 2 hours to go to a company's like end of year party, and they gave us $5,000. But before that, I got nominated to be Tulsa of the Year last year.
Nerd alert,
right?
For 2022.
Yeah, I'm like, who in the world makes these nominations? But it was like, how did we go from a snack pack to now Tulsa of the Year, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just me Tulsa of the Year. It's like people who on the streets got Tulsa of the Year as well. Like people who are experiencing homelessness. Like I showed them, like, man, like that's us. Like, man, like it's not just Evan or just Be Heard. It's like, hey, You are a part of this journey. Whatever impact we have, you're a part of that.
Yeah,
So,
maybe you're like the spearhead slash face of it, but like it's not you. It's the what you're representing. You
Yeah.
know, it's like this whole community, and like
Yeah.
even how you're so quick to honor how they came up with the name of Be Heard, and
Yeah.
how like it started with their idea of trying to
Yeah,
share their
so
stories
good.
and get. You were just a vessel to like get it
Yeah.
out there, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I guess we can fast forward it to like a more present timeline. So I don't know if remember that was Crazy Faith 2021 or 22 when you finally got the shower trailer.
Yeah, so I think that was December 2020, I believe.
Yeah. So would you? I mean, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but would you say that moment was a catalyst for like? Because right now you got shower trucks, laundry, social work, barbers, like what? Like so, you did not have all that, but it started with the one truck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how we even got to that point was we did surveys.
Yeah.
And so we asked people on the street, like, hey, what do you want? And one of those surveys was, that the data was people wanted access to a shower.
Yeah.
And people were telling us that they haven't showered in up to 6 weeks. So that's 42 days, right? So just imagine if you haven't showered in 6 weeks, we probably wouldn't be in this room, right?
Yeah.
It's just like we would be embarrassed, we would be self-conscious. And so we wanted to create access on wheels for showers.
Yeah.
And so they wanted showers, and then we had the idea of a mobile shower trailer, which is like hotel style, like showers just on wheels. They're super nice.
Bro, how'd you even know? Like my brain was so like amazed because if someone told me to get them the shower trailer, I wouldn't have known where to start, where to look, or how it works, or what to do. Like, so what was going through your mind, bro?
I think what hit me when it actually got delivered, I think it was like July, like 15th.
So you were just asking for the shower truck, and then you were like, "I'll figure it out when it gets here."
Yeah. Well, so yeah. So I never towed a trailer before.
Yeah.
And when it got here, I was like, okay, who gonna drive this? Oh, I'm by myself, me. And so I had to learn how to tow this big old trailer.
And you traded your personal car,
yeah,
to get a truck,
which was crazy because we did our first shower ever July 31st of 2021, but we had no truck to pull it. So my car was paid off. I traded in my personal vehicle. I love that vehicle, my Kia, right? You know, I'm not too fancy, but
moment of silence for the Kia,
right? And I traded it in, and I got in debt to get a truck. So I went from being debt free to now I owe $32,000 in debt. But I know that people needed showers. But before our first payment, a church called me and said, "Hey, we're gonna pay this truck off for you." And like before our first payment, that payment was 5 years. Like currently right now, I would have still been paying that payment, even this podcast.
for the truck.
Yeah, but the fact that it sped up before our first payment, before I got the mail to set up my bank account for the loan, it was paid off.
That's crazy, bro. So where do you go? So you have the shower truck, now you're able to tow it. How does it multiply now to where you have multiple shower trucks, right? You have 2 trucks?
Yeah, so we have 2 trucks. We have a shower trailer, a laundry trailer, barbershop bus, clothing trailer, mobile office, and a case management team.
And this is all to serve people experiencing homelessness in Tulsa.
Yep, in Tulsa.
Bro, so that's crazy, dude. I'm sorry. I don't even know where to go. But so recently you posted a reel. People are going to watch this on Friday.
Okay.
I think, was it yesterday? Monday.
Probably.
Monday of this week, Evan posted a reel that you were in the room with like the mayor's council. So how did you even get on their radar for...
So once again, we went from a camera and a snack pack to now we're in the mayor's office.
So all these people are just
reaching.
So they're reaching out to you, dude.
Yeah. So the mayor wants to learn more about homelessness and how to make it rare, brief, and non-reoccurring. And so they asked 8 organizations to present on homelessness, and they asked us like, what? And so we got to share our perspective on why what we do is so important and why it's so impactful and why it works. But also, there's only 2. So we're considered a mobile drop-in center, which means drop-in centers where people can go to get their basic needs met and resources. And there's only 2 in the United States. One in Tulsa, which is us, and one in Orlando. That's a mobile drop-in center. And so the mayor wanted to learn more about that. And we got to present to him like different things. Yeah.
Man, I feel like we could sit here for hours and dissect everything that BEHEARD's done, all the lives they've changed. But I kind of want to push the conversation back on you. So, okay, you have all these things going on, right? But you still gotta take care of your own spiritual health.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of your physical. You got your relationship. You got your friends. You got like your own. You got your do good bully ranch. You got your little babies, bro. Like so, I think a lot of people that are listening to this podcast, I would say admire what you do, but I think that a lot of the value that we bring is that we're able to let people in on some of the insight narratives on how you take care of yourself. I know we're not perfect. You don't have all the answers.
Right.
It's not you haven't Be Heard hasn't got here by Evan's effort. This Evan, God's used you as a vessel, but practically, like, what does that look like for you? For I mean, I think one of the things to start us off is I know you have a crystal. Shout out, we love you. Like she helps you organize your schedule when you try to delegate as much as you can, but just kind of let us in on how you take care of yourself, bro.
Yeah. So I feel like that's just the ongoing process, and I have 3 dogs for a reason. That's kind of like those my kids, you know. That's like I kind of just take care of myself in a sense, like going on a walk or whatever that is, just being there, laying on the couch. I think it's very important to have mentorship. So there's a pastor in the area that's really helping me out. So just make sure that I'm like getting poured into as well. Just because what we do is hard. Last week we had somebody who was frozen to the ground that we had to rescue and save his life. Like that stuff, it's hard to process. And then
You've seen like friends pass away, right?
We have seen people that have frozen to death that I just shook their hand the day before. You know what I mean? So like that's very, very hard. We see people who are just crying after a shower because they haven't took one in so long. You go through a lot, right? So having people who can just understand like what you go through and support you and like, man, like I don't know what your day consists of, but I just wanted to check on you. I have a phenomenal board who also supports me as well. But I think what makes me really nervous is I see a lot of people our age now who were really influential and God was doing something crazy good in their life. And then they do something, they slip up, what do they do? And now all that impact they had is just kind of diminished or gone. Yeah. Like we know some people that were thriving, and no disrespect, but I think that scares me so much is because my parents growing up were in ministry, and then something happened, and now, unfortunately, not unfortunately, my dad, now he's a Walmart greeter. Not saying that's bad, but it's just like I know he wanted to do so much more in his life than be a Walmart greeter. Yeah. I mean, he's still out there, helping people out, doing the best as he can, but I know that he wanted to do so much more. Yeah. But because of a decision and just burnout in this space, ministry is hard, bro. People will talk bad about you. People who you thought you could trust.
There's like a magnifying glass on you too, man.
Man, ministry is tough. Like pastor suicide is real. People, like pastors out here committing suicide. And it's just like, I never want to get to a point where I'm pouring so much and I'm not loving my family well, or I'm just, I'm causing more trauma for somebody else. Yeah. And then the people that really need us, like we got somebody's house last week, and I'm like, man, just imagine if I wasn't healthy and I was making bad decisions and I'm just being selfish.
That life change wouldn't have happened.
I would have never met them, and they would have died last year. This couple, they would have died last year. And it's like I have to be healthy. I have to be poured into, and I have to be protected, like really protected, just because people's lives are attached to this, and I never want to mess up. And it's like, dang, I messed up now. There's other people in the world who may not get the necessary kind of freedom at that time, because we're born, like our purpose is an answer to a problem, right? So I feel like my purpose is to help in homelessness, and if I get distracted or make a decision that's not helpful, now I'm delaying somebody else's freedom to housing. Yeah, you know what I mean,
dude. That's crazy because you're. I've seen you like maybe even go out of your way sometimes for accountability. You're like, bro, I need this. You set up like stopgaps of like, bro, like you have extra eyes on you, and I think it's been more of a conscious effort because I mean we have conversations all here where you're like, bro, the trajectory of this thing, like the conversation you've had behind closed doors, I know I for sure cannot hold this by myself. And so kind of going back to what you said about your parents, like they were the last people that anyone thought anything bad was going to happen. So you're like getting ahead of it, I guess. Yeah. I'm not saying that you're like destined for that, but yeah, man. So kind of trying to wrap the episode. Where's BEHEARD going, man? what we doing? Where you going? Like how can people support all the things? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think where we're going now is we would love to have a full-time outreach therapist and a full-time outreach pastor in our own building. Yeah. It's where we're aiming right now.
You have office space.
Yeah.
But you would like to have like a stable.
Our own building, yeah.
Okay. So at what was your handle? At Dogoud?
Dogoud_5.
And then the BEHEARD one.
BEHEARD.MVMT.
And then Crystal's. I'm just kidding.
I don't know hers like that.
What does she do? She's
our director of case management and admin.
Yeah.
So,
bro, quick shout out to Crystal. She's so funny, bro. That what was that clip with the comedian that she got called out?
Oh yeah, I think she went to New York for her birthday, and then a comedian called her out for I don't know. I guess her and her friends were laughing too loud, and the comedian called her out because said, "Why you laughing so much?"
Yeah.
And he asked her what she did, and
then she said that she helps people experiencing homelessness, which is a quick language change that Evan put me on, because oftentimes people just say, "Oh, they're homeless people," right? Mm-hmm. Which kind of categorizes them by just their external situation. Mm-hmm. So you change it to either our neighbors or our friends experiencing homelessness. Yeah. So quick language change. If you hear that, let's get it. Let's make it a move.
Come on now,
bro. Love you so much. Thanks for coming on the pod. Thanks for making time. Thanks for everything that you're doing. We will see you. I'll see you soon. I'll see you outside of here.
I was gonna say shout out to my girlfriend for watching the dogs. Appreciate you.
Yeah, mad love. So Visionaries, thanks for tuning in. Episode 12. Evan Dogoud, BEHEARD Movement. I'll have all the links in the description of this episode. Go support. We'll see y'all.